Hello. Grab your coffee, grab your tea, grab whatever it is that you wish to drink. Per the usual, I have my coffee. And I've had this mug since about 2014. I got from Spirit. I don't own one and a Ouija board, but people. My mother does. She's had it since longer than I've been alive, and I will be inheriting it, so that's gonna be fun. But I already have her word on that's going to be mine. But that's not the point of this video. And I have flies. I hate flies. If you haven't seen my past video, where I am acknowledged on the Dragon Dreaming site on her lovely timeline that she has made of other traditions, please do so, because this is in correlation to that. And that is a fairly short video compared to my other videos. So, in that video, I showed where it is of her opinion that the Draconic Path that I created is still mine, because I didn't have prior knowledge of the other one already existing. I didn't know about it until this morning, until I read her post, her newest post on her blog. So I asked her straight up if I can even claim credit for the path that I created, and she said yes. So we are going with that. The Draconic Path that I have created on this channel is mine. Period. In a sentence. I will still fight tooth and nail for that. Now, and going with that, it has made me think of, the whole Draconic Wicca thing. There are several, in her post, there are several things on Draconic Wicca in general. Those different sources and where she has found it. I am not one of them, and that is perfectly fine. She already knows that I still won't claim credit for Draconic Wicca in general, okay? I won't do that. I will not disrespect any other person. I won't even disrespect the other Draconic Path. It exists, okay? It exists. We're not going to ignore that it doesn't exist, because it does. It's there. And they deserve it to be acknowledged too. Their Draconic Path is theirs. My Draconic Path is mine. Mine was still followed by a certain individual. We are fighting on that. Okay? That is still a thing. That still happened, and I still have proof. If you don't believe me, go see my 3-part series in which I address that. With receipts, because I come with receipts. I always have receipts. But, okay, so when it comes to Draconic Wicca, I have repeated myself, I don't even know how many times. We're gonna do it again, because it deserves to be addressed. It deserves to be recognized. I did not know the concept already existed. I will die on that hill because I did not know. I had not found it in the little kernel of the internet, just like I didn't find the other Draconic Path in the little kernel of the internet. Even when I looked for it several months ago by a specific name. I searched and it wasn't there. Maybe because the site was that old, because it's from 2007, which is 18 years. So it might have gotten buried because of how old that site is. But that's not an excuse. Just a possible theory. So if you take into consideration Jen's opinion when it comes to the Draconic Path, in that it is still mine because I didn't know, and I was the one who created my specific Draconic Path. You could technically take that opinion. Do not quote me, because do not quote her, because she did not say this. Okay? I'm not putting words in her mouth. I'm broadening on it. I don't know. I know what I mean. It's just finding the right words in order to say it. I'm expanding on that. That's what I mean. I'm expanding on that. On my own. In that, technically, I could say that Draconic Wicca, the one that I announced on my YouTube channel, August 18th of 2011, I could say that I technically created that for myself, because I didn't have prior knowledge of Draconic Wicca existing before then. But wasp. So, because of not having prior knowledge, I'm repeating myself. But I'll repeat myself on purpose. Waspies. I created Draconic Wicca for myself, because I didn't want to practice two different things. I didn't want to practice Draconic Magic, or Dragon Magic, sorry, and Wicca separately. I didn't want to have two different paths at the time, and I still don't. So that's where the creation, quote unquote, not actual I don't know, came from. And I distinctly remember asking on forums on whether it had already existed, and people, I'm repeating myself again, but people, they didn't know. They're like, well, if you want to practice Dragon Magic, go ahead and practice Dragon Magic, but as far as we know, it doesn't exist, meaning Draconic Wicca, and the combination of. Well, apparently it did, just none of us knew about it. So that's when I went ahead and combined them. That doesn't mean that the concept didn't already exist. I feel something in my hair. Because it did, and it does. It does, and it did. But again, I will not fight tooth and nail on the Draconic Wicca thing. I will fight tooth and nail on the Draconic Path, and the one that I created, and the one that people have said that they have followed because of me. I did not find this path elsewhere. I did not know about it until this morning. I created it for myself, and we are going to go ahead and acknowledge that the other one exists. We are going to acknowledge that the concept of Draconic Wicca exists, but I still created it for myself because I did not have the knowledge of it. But I'm not going to ask in order to be recognized when it comes to Draconic Wicca. I'm already considering this a win. Okay, and I'm not saying those who get it, those who won't. Bringing that back. Because, and it's not a contest, that's not what I mean. Okay? It is very liberating and validating to be very publicly recognized and acknowledged on the biggest blog on this topic. And that is what I mean. That is huge for me. And I'm very grateful for it. Very grateful for it. So, I could, if I really wanted to, go ahead and make a hill of Draconic Wicca, but I've said what I said about it. I've repeated myself I don't even know how many times. I don't keep count. And I've said what I said about the Draconic Path. My Draconic Path that I created is mine. And if the people, the founders of the other Draconic Path, if you happen to find my channel, if you happen to find me because of Jen's blog, I did not know about you. And I would thoroughly enjoy to talk to you. It would make me very happy to. I have no problem acknowledging you and the fact that you exist. I didn't mean to take anything from you. And I don't want to. That's not why I'm here. I didn't know that you existed. And I apologize for that. So, but my version of the Draconic Path is mine. I created that, and there are certain people who do follow it, but they refuse to acknowledge that, no matter what proof I show. And people like that, people who exist like that, that's a problem. Because when it comes to 50, 60, however amount of years, you know, later into the future, I don't want the history of our traditions to be erased and replaced by someone else who claims to have created them when they haven't. But I don't know. Hopefully people can do the right thing. But yeah. I guess it's up to them now, ain't it? But yes, just a closing statement, even though I'm repeating myself again for like the third or fourth time intentionally. I created Draconic Wicca for myself. I will not ask to be recognized on that. I did create the Draconic Path for myself. I am very grateful to be acknowledged for that. And I am going to openly acknowledge the fact that the Draconic Path exists as well. Because that is what we as grown-ups do. And as respectful individuals. If I'm going to be remembered for anything, I want to be remembered as a person who respected others, who was trustworthy, who told things as it is, didn't sugarcoat, and was just a very honest individual. that's how I want to be remembered. Honest, respectful. Hell, even owning my own shit, taking accountability for myself. I want to be remembered for the good things. So, and that's why I'm here. I had a comment the other day ask, you know, why is YouTube sharing your pain? And it's just like, I didn't respond, I didn't approve it, but it's like, because I posted it. It was a choice that I made. So, thank you for being here. And I look forward to talking to you later.